We're back with Herman's Hot Takes, Eyes of the Dragon, chapters 91 to 100. This section should be entitled Dennis's Time to Shine. It is all about the Dennis. So Dennis is heading back to the castle, and as he's going, he has a supernatural encounter with Flag. He's walking through the forest. He thinks in his head something about Flag, so he thinks the name Flag in his head. Flag at the castle bolts upright in his bed. He's sleeping. He's like, somebody said my name. However he says it, he's so evil. Somebody said my name. And he's trying to figure out who said his name, and he knows that somebody's coming for him. And he thinks for a minute, Flag does, and then he's like, it's nobody, which is like kind of true. That's how he views Dennis. Dennis is a nobody to Flag. So... And Dennis is sitting there, knows that Flag has heard him say his name in his head, and tries so hard not to think of anything. He's just like, I'm going to think blank thoughts, and then says to himself, I should never think about Flag again. I'm not going to say Flag's name even in my head, even if that's going to be like super hard. So we have that little encounter. Dennis breaks through the sewers, where we learn there are no rats in any of the sewers in all of Delane, because 5 years ago, Flag put the dragon sand down the sewer, the teeny tiny bit that he still had on the knife and the stuff that was on the rock, and it killed all the rats. So that's why there's no rats in the sewers. He finds the napkin room, Dennis does, and he falls asleep. Oh no, he finds the napkin room. He puts the note that he wrote for Peter in between the napkins that Peter's going to get, and he falls asleep in this nice comfy napkin room, and it says it's like so soft and like probably the best sleep he's ever had. All right, we also find out that Pena's question, the one that was in the last chapter that we didn't know what question he asked Dennis, and we were like, oh, it's going to be so exciting, was just, when does Peter get his napkins? I mean, it's important, and it was important for Dennis to know it, so he knew where to put the note, but I'm like, that's it? That's your question? Not very exciting. And everybody's preparing for a winter storm, and the whole kingdom keeps talking about a storm in the whole kingdom. Then we switch over to Ben and Naomi, who are on their way to the kingdom, to the castle proper from the north. We learn about her sled dogs. They get to Pena's house. They're feeling kind of useless, and she's like, hey, I've got this dog Frisky. Frisky's awesome. Frisky can track down anything. Let's have Frisky find Dennis, and then we can go help Dennis. And they're like, awesome idea. So they're going to be doing that. It ends with Peter finding the note at dinner. And, oh my gosh, that note, chapter 100, the note, so sweet. And we're going to talk about Dennis in a minute and just Dennis's character, but so just sweet, bless his heart. That's what I always think when we talk about Dennis. He's just so sweet. So we'll talk about that in a second. So that's basically the section in a nutshell. Other stuff you need to know, the important stuff, the literary stuff of the section. We got a weather report. The clouds are gathering. The storm's coming, which usually in literature refers to a battle of some sort coming, a war coming, some major turn of events. Page 270, I'm not sure how to interpret this, and I think we can take this one of many ways. So I'm just going to kind of put it out there for you to all interpret. I want to make sure I'm reading it correctly. It talks about clouds over Peter's heart. Oh, of course, now I can't find it. But anyway, there's this description of clouds going over. I'm going to pause so I can find it. Found it, 270, I was right. It says, Peter, he felt a need to hurry. It seemed to him that there were mackerel scale clouds, so like fish scale clouds, laid across his heart as well as the sky. I don't know how to take this. I want you to think and tell me when you see me. I mean, there's got to be something to that he feels these clouds over his heart. What do we think this means, that he is feeling these clouds over his heart? Let me know. I'm leaving that one up to you. All right, character development in this section. Dennis. Okay, Dennis is rapidly becoming probably one of my favorite characters in this book. He's so sweet. I mean, he's almost a little too much. He's almost a little too perfectly sweet. He just wants to do his best. He's not the brightest, he knows that, but he just wants to be the best butler. He wants to make his dad proud. He wants to serve his king. He tries, the whole section, he's like, I could die, but I'm going to try. I could this, but I'm going to try. And the letter, I mean, you can tell he's worked so hard on that letter, and he has so many spelling errors all through it, but we know what he's trying to say, and his love for Peter comes through the letter. It's just so sweet. So sweet. We get some more Flagg being evil in the fact that the surface of his table had been handsomely dressed in human skin. So there's our fairy tale stuff coming through, that evil is evil. So evil that his table is made of human skin. We've got some funny narrator insertions in this section. He says, I tell tales, not tea leaves. Meaning, I tell you stories, but I'm not going to tell you what it means. And on 281, just kind of out of nowhere, he's talking about Dennis sleeping on the napkins. And he says, and I would like to make a wish for you, reader, that your sleep this night is as sweet and as blameless as Dennis's was all that day. Like, I want you to sleep as good as Dennis did, sleeping on these pile of napkins, because it talks about how well Dennis slept that day. I think we need to say that to each other now. Every night when you leave here, I think you need to walk down the halls and say to each other, I hope you sleep as well as Dennis tonight. That needs to be our new way of saying goodbye to each other. Instead of, I hope you have a good night, any of that, I'm just going to look at y'all and say, I hope you sleep as well as Dennis tonight. We have to make that a thing. We have an allusion. Remember, allusions are when authors reference other cultural things. And our allusion is on page 285. Let me know if you caught it. To Humpty Dumpty. Yes, the nursery rhyme, fairy tales, nursery rhymes, all kids sings. King is talking about the fact that the storm is coming and everything needs to be taken care of. And he says, all the king's horses were stabled. Presumably there was someone else to take care of all the king's men. It made me laugh. And, all right, fairy tale trope. Creatures that help, creatures that can understand humans, creatures that talk. I don't know if you caught it. It took me a minute. Chapter 98 is told completely from Frisky the dog's point of view. And the prior section to that, Naomi says, because Ben's like, how will your dogs know what to do? And Naomi says, Frisky doesn't speak human, but Frisky understands human and will tell the other dogs what to do. So Frisky's point of view is chapter 98. It's what the dog's thinking, feeling. The dog explains how it's able to track. And we know this because the phrases are used when Naomi talks. The phrases use the girl, capital letters for the whole thing. And when Ben talks, it's the tall boy. That's how Frisky views them, as the girl and the tall boy. So if you didn't catch that, go back to chapter 98. It's short. Just look at it real quick. It is told completely from Frisky's point of view. And it's kind of sweet. And since this is I'm going to save some viewer questions for the next video, because this one went kind of long. And yeah, but keep them coming. I think I got 2 or 3 of them to answer next time. So look forward to that viewer questions coming at you. All right. Have a great day. Enjoy your next section of reading.